10 minutes. The clock is ticking. Go.
Yeah. So
and that's the problem with these interviews. You have 10 minutes, so you can't just like chill out and get in your cadence.
What kind of beer do you like,
it's like, hey, Keanu, I like you. You're cute.
You want to come out and hang out with me in
Portland?
Portland?
Have a beer?
You want to come over to my barbecue this weekend?
That's why there's only 10 minutes, so he doesn't have to deal with that.
That was it.
Plus, he's doing 100 interviews a day.
Otherwise, you could have had him over at your barbecue.
This close.
Yeah, that close. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Between the Streams. This is our weekly podcast here from Digital Trends, where we talk about movies and entertainment and everything going on in the world of that. I'll say this. We are live on YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch right now, normally on Facebook, but we have been having some technical difficulties. So if you're watching live, that's why you've kind of seen us bounce on, bounce off, but it's another reason why you should subscribe to the podcast.
Because the podcast never has technical difficulties.
Not at all. So
now it's going to.
Now it will, probably. Yeah, of course, because we just said that. It's one of those kind of days.
It's been one of those.
But yeah, hit subscribe on the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And so we've got a lot to cover today. We're going to be talking about everything from the DC Universe live streaming app. We've got, so much stuff. I mean, Ant-Man to talk about. We've got a bunch of movies that are coming out that we're gonna cover for you. We have 2 giveaways. One for a Furbo. I will explain what that is later. And also for an iPhone 10. We are going to tell you how to win an iPhone 10 unlocked right here on this episode today. So stay tuned for that part as well. And also an exclusive interview with Keanu Reeves that is coming up. So I'm Greg Nibbler.
I'm Ryan Juanita.
And Ryan here actually spoke to Keanu Reeves just this morning.
That's true.
It's like, oh, no big deal. Like, oh, yeah, I just talked to...
Just having some coffee.
Just had a chat with Keanu today.
Talking to K. Reeve.
Did you call him K. Reeve on the interview?
Of course, yeah.
Yo, what up, K. Reeve?
So, K. Reeve, really, let me ask you...
I'm sure that went really well.
That would go great, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I didn't even get a chance to address him. I would have called him Mr. Reeves.
The Reeve man. What's up, bro?
And the PR person does that we talk about. They say, we have Keanu. And then he's there.
And then there he is.
There's his presence, and then it's like, start yelling questions at him, sir.
Well, so we're going to play part of the audio of that here in just a minute. But before we get to that, right before we started this show today, we did get some more breaking news in the world of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it is this, Star Wars Episode 9, which is the third of the latest trilogy.
As I said earlier, the trilogy.
The trilogy. Sorry, I made sure we had to get that into the podcast.
Yeah, because that didn't go over the first time, so I thought the second time maybe it'd be fun.
Hammer it home. Just keep going at it. So
that's what you do in the comedy world.
We got some casting news for Star Wars Episode 9, and it is this. It's that Keri Russell is going to be joining the cast. Keri Russell, I'm sure a lot of people know her from, The Americans, or she's in a ton of shows.
Yeah,
she's kind of like a chameleon.
She's pretty hot right now with the Americans. Like, that's definitely she was maybe not as big a name for a while there, but The Americans is a really well reviewed show, so it makes more sense. But still, it's kind of an interesting choice. And then of course we have the connection with the two of them. J.J. Abrams being the other one in that party. They work together on Felicity,
which I did not realize.
I didn't either.
So J.J. Abrams is directing Star Wars Episode 9, so I guess it makes sense that he's bringing in.
You want to be with comfortable
Keri
actors
Russell,
that you like, that are also good, obviously. So
that makes me wonder, though, who else could he bring in with that?
That is the question.
Yeah. So who else does J.J. Abrams work with? We'd have to look at his whole list.
Yeah, he's got. Yeah, I think he was on Alias back in the day.
Okay.
So it could be some Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner showing up. It's just going to be all you have to have been in a J.J. Abrams film in order to be
or a TV show. Yeah.
Yeah, or a TV show. Okay.
I like it.
All right. Well, so everybody from Lost is going to be in it.
Yes.
That's the speculation.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, maybe. So right now, Keri Russell being one more that's been dropped in, and it's expected that J.J. Abrams is going to cast 2 more featured role characters before filming starts.
Okay,
at the end of this month.
That makes sense. And then of course, the core cast will be back. And there's also been talk that Billy D. Williams will come on board for Lando Calrissian, but that is very rumored at this point.
And that's one of those things, I think we all want to see him on there, but I've heard there's some health issues and
I don't
concerns.
know if do we all want to, like, is it do we need to keep pulling people from the old movies back in? Like, I really enjoy Billy D. Williams, but I wouldn't be upset if because it seems a little bit like a device.
Yeah.
But if they do it well, it'll work. That's the thing.
Well, they also have to figure out what they're going to do with Princess Leia. So maybe there's a funeral for Princess Leia.
So many
Lando
questions. I think there's only one other movie that even compares to the writing corner that the people have been put in for their big movie. One is Avengers, the 4th one.
Yep.
What are they going to do to make it work? Because there's so many pitfalls. And the other big one, I think, is Star Wars 9 because of the reception of Star Wars 8, Last Jedi, which we both really loved, but there's all that crazy weird fan controversy stuff.
Yeah.
And just how do you tie all this up? We have the rebellion on the brink of disaster and all these other things. So I don't I cannot think of maybe any other movie besides maybe Avengers that's going to be harder to write themselves out of the corner than Episode 9.
That is a tough one.
It's a toughie.
Well, we'll see how it works, but Keri Russell will be a part of that solution, whatever it is.
That is correct.
All right, bouncing on to this, let's talk about Keanu Reeves. Now, you are in the process of writing an article.
Yeah, I did an interview with him, so there'll be an article on the site, but we thought we'd tease a little bit since we just got the info this morning, and one of the most interesting parts of it, there were a lot of interesting parts.
Yeah.
He's a really interesting dude, producer, actor for decades.
Seems like all around like one of those guys you just want to sit down and have a beer with.
Known as a very nice guy in Hollywood, one of the few, megastar of major proportions, kind of a private guy, but just a lot of interesting stuff going on there. But one of the ones that I really was interested in is Bill and Ted 3.
Right.
Bill and Ted Face the Music. So the question we have today, the answer we have today is from that part of the interview.
So we've got this. This is all part of Ryan's interview with it. So we're just going to play this clip.
Yeah. So I'd asked him, the movie seems like a sort of a passion project for him and Alex Winters. I knew they were kind of buddies, and is he excited about it? And if he could tell us a little bit about the plot.
Okay. Well, let's hear Keanu's answer right now.
Yeah, sure. No, I mean, Alex and I became friends on the first Bill and Ted, and we've stayed friends. And so I'm really excited to do that. I'm really interested to see what happened to Bill and Ted. So there's an organic story. I guess the major plot line is that the characters were supposed to write the song to save the world, and they haven't been able to do that. So they're under this pressure of like always trying to write the perfect song, and it's kind of, they're not paying as much attention to the kids, and it's impacting their marriages and their lives. And then someone from the future says, not only do you have to write the song to save the world, but you have to now save the universe.
Nice. That's awesome. Okay. That's like really deep in there.
So it's to save the universe now.
It's such an interesting, I mean, there are a few things like more fun and silly than the first movie, but to sort of think of them coming back and now they're old and they've got, not old, but, much different position in life, obviously. And they've got children and kids and they have this thing hanging over them. It's like this horrible assignment you've got, right? Yeah. And you're supposed to save the world. I had never thought of that kind of dimension to it, but that leads them to all these interesting plot things. I don't know how it's going to work with the levity of the originals, right? But it's a really cool idea. And as he says, now someone from the future comes back and tells them, oh, but also you have to save the universe, not just the world. So good luck, dudes.
Well, are they still going to be goofy, or are they now, weathered since their fathers or whatever parents?
So many ways to go with it. And I think that everyone, no matter what they are picturing in their head, is going to be surprised. Well, but it was cool to hear him talk about it. He's like, it's so cool that he's still buddies with Alex Winters and just all that stuff, man.
Well, and you also talked to him about, and we're going to talk about his current project too, that you were talking about, but you also brought up The Matrix to him. So what did he say about
I did. Well, I was wondering about The Matrix because with Westworld and everything, there's all this stuff about the nature of your reality. So I asked him whether that was something that was big on his mind after or during filming The Matrix, and he was just like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, really? I was thinking about the construct of reality, the manipulation of the construct of reality for power, and all those things. So he's a deep thinker. Like, you can imagine sitting around with some incense burning and chatting construct of reality. I think you know where I'm going with this with Keanu Reeves. Yeah. That would be fun.
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, that's the next segment. I think
and it was funny because I'm pretty sure he's a Westworld fan because I was going to say, have you ever questioned the nature of your reality, Keanu? But I wussed out at the last second because I'm like talking to Keanu Reeves and I'm a fan. And he answered, he was like, yeah, question the nature of your reality. Like, I'm like, okay, dude watches Westworld for sure.
That's funny.
But yeah.
Well, so you discussed that, and then also his current movie, which is Siberia.
Siberia, yeah, and I got to see that too.
So, what did you think?
Yeah, Siberia is really cool. It's really it's a dark film.
What's it about?
It's basically about this diamond dealer who's in Russia to meet his partner. He kind of has a sketchy business, and he's sort of a broken person and falls into this sort of dangerous relationship with this girl in Siberia.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's pretty fun and fast-paced. It's also really dark, but it's kind of cool. Like, there's a lot of cool characters and stuff, so it's an interesting film, yeah.
All right, and that's is that out now? Or
it is coming out, I believe it's coming out next week.
Okay, so probably bring
and he
that
produced
one up
the
again
film
next
as
week
well.
But okay, cool. All right, well, the whole article is going to be coming out on Digital Trends, where of everything that Ryan talked to Keanu about. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool. So there's a preview right here, exclusive to the podcast.
Exclusive.
All right, so I'm going to tell you about the iPhone 10 here in a minute. I'm just going to let that one go. I heard it. I heard the exclusive.
What are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
It's live.
The show must go on. So let's talk about the weekend box office, though. We do have another big movie from Marvel coming out. I mean, obviously not on the level of Infinity War. However, Ant-Man and the Wasp finally showing up this weekend.
Really looking forward to this. It's getting good reviews, and the best part for me about the Ant-Man movies are the way that they can play with the tech. Like, they find all these creative ways to choreograph him going big, going small, going big, going small, and going giant.
Right.
And of course, bringing in the Wasp is going to be really fun.
Yep.
So I think, I'm looking forward to it.
Got the Wasp, and then Ghost is the villain in this one. So that'll be interesting to see how that works, how Ghost is incorporated into the Marvel universe. And how good of a villain, Ghost is, and all of that. Like,
I don't even think I'm very familiar with this dude.
So Ghost is a former engineer who developed technology that could remain functional while also being intangible. So she can kind of be invisible and go through walls and like all kinds of different things.
You see that in the trailer. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
a good foe for Ant-Man and Wasp.
Foe.
Yes.
I want to say for our viewers who are watching live, somebody on Twitch just said the stream is not working on YouTube. Might want to check it. It looks like we've been having some issues, some technical issues that are going on today. But nope, and it's back working. Okay, all right. Well, there we go. We addressed both. We addressed both right on.
It might have been the earlier show too. Could
have been.
We had all kinds of fun problems for a fun show.
That is entirely true. All right. Well, bouncing on from Ant-Man and the Wasp, we do have some other stuff to talk about in the world of comics. We have the DC Universe to discuss. And in case you didn't know, these are just kind of some updates on things that we've talked about before, that DC Universe does have a standalone streaming service, just like everybody else, that's going to be coming up for their standalone stuff. So all of their projects they've got, they're going to be playing all their old Superman movies on there, old Batman movies. Pretty much anything that DC has ever done is going to be on this. So
that's interesting because Time Warner, which owns Warner Brothers, was just bought by AT&T, so it should be interesting. I don't know who's owning that, but that's definitely an interesting development.
Yeah. So we'll see where that goes. And I'm seeing some questions coming in here for YouTube and Twitch, and I'll address those here in just a second, just so everybody knows. But yeah, so they've got all those, but then they have these brand new series that are going to be coming on. We already know that Teen Titans is going to be one of them. I think they're calling it Titans in this one. And that has already finished filming.
Yeah.
So that one's already
ready
done in the bank. And Minka Kelly was actually talking about it. It's already finished filming, and it's already got a spin-off that's been planned from it. So one of the spin-offs is going to be for Hawk and Dove, which is also Minka Kelly. And we did get a picture of the two of them in their costumes. So just kind of a little bit of a preview of what it's going to be. The Titans is a whole group of superheroes and kind of side characters.
Yeah, and I don't think we've ever seen live action. I know there's an animated one.
You're right. Yeah. There's an animated one. I think that's Teen Titans is the animated one, but this is the full-on adults for this one. So
they pulled the team.
So we'll see. So that's going to be probably the first one that's released. We're looking at this fall, and then from there we'll have Hawk and Dove as a spin-off that will also come out another time. Sometime probably later next year. We've got a live-action Swamp Thing that's going to be happening.
Yeah, that should be cool.
Yeah, there's a lot that's going on with that. All right, just a couple of questions here. Creed, I'll address the one later after the show. Said something about, audio's distorted. So I don't know. We'll see what we can do on that. Again, we've had some tech issues today. So the podcast is the best way to make sure that you get everything that we're doing completely set up and ready to go. So hit subscribe on Between the Streams, wherever you get your podcast. Just type in Between the Streams. We'll pop right up and make sure you get that every week. Another comic, although kind of its own little world that's been created, is Glass.
Yeah.
We're finally getting this Glass movie from M. Night Shyamalan. And, obviously it started with...
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And then, spoilers. Sorry, there's going to be a little spoiler here, but if you see the trailer, the poster anywhere, you're going to know this.
Yeah.
They went from that then to his next movie. And...
Yeah, so it's Split.
Split, thank you. I'm blanking on all the names.
You're fine. I haven't seen Split yet, but that's the one with James McAvoy, and he's got all these different personalities, but somehow it connects to this greater sort of superhero world that
it does
only M. Night Shyamalan could create.
I will say this, Split is a really good movie.
I know, I've heard good things.
James McAvoy plays, I'm taking a look here, 23 different personalities. that guy, I have immense respect for that guy as an actor after watching this movie.
Oh, yeah, and it's one of those things where you're like, this could be his ending, or it could really like show his skills, and it seems like it was the latter. So that's really cool.
He is so good. I mean, he plays everything from like a 6-year-old little girl to like a complete monster.
And you buy it.
You buy it. He's that
That's
good.
the hard part.
He is really good in that. And so this is kind of bringing both those movies together. So Glass revolves around Samuel L. Jackson's character, Mr. Glass, and we got the poster for it, which we showed. That it looks like there's a trailer coming July 20th. This is one I will see the first weekend in the theater.
And the poster's really
it.
Cool.
Yeah. She's kind of showing the 3 different characters, the Sentinel, Mr. Glass, and then Split. The monster, the beast, I think is what they call him. So that's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah. So
we did get to see a poster on that. All right, now is when I'm going to let you know about winning an iPhone 10 before we bounce on and talk about a bunch of other things that we have to discuss. So every week, every day, really leading up to Prime Day, which is Amazon's Prime Day, where they've created their own holiday and everything goes on sale on it. And we've had a whole team here at Digital Trends that scours the internet and takes basically it's being described as an army of assistants pouring through the deals for you. So follow everything that we have for Digital Trends, and you'll be ready to go when Prime Day does happen. But in honor of that, we're doing a bunch of giveaways leading up to it. And so one of the giveaways, and this is one that's ending actually pretty soon, so you need to get there and sign up for this and enter to win. It's an iPhone 10 bundle, like an actual unlocked iPhone 10 that will be part of it. And then also the Spec Products Presidio World Grip cases. So we have 10 of these cases that come along with this. And 6 cases. 6 cases, my bad. There are 6 cases that come along with the iPhone 10. You can drop your iPhone 10 like up to 10 feet and it'll still work. And it's got the colors of England, France, Spain, Germany, Brazil, and Mexico. You get all of them with this bundle. It's prize value at $1,250. That's pretty awesome. It is.
Not bad.
Pretty awesome. So digitaltrends.com/giveaway. Sign up to get an iPhone 10 and 6 of the Spec Products cases. All right. Continuing on with our show today, as we talk about some other things that you can watch this weekend. HBO, in particular, they've been promoting this quite a bit if you do watch HBO.
Yeah.
And it's Sharp Objects. And it's the new one with Amy Adams. And I think if you're like me, you've watched a lot of the trailers and you're like, okay, that looks interesting. What the hell is this?
Like, yeah, what is it and why is everyone so sad?
Yeah, everybody's so sad. They're so sad. And it's a 8-part series, so it's a limited series, this one, and it's based on a book by the author of Gone Girl. And the producer of Get Out and the director of Big Little Lies also team up with this. So it's got a pretty kind of star cast of people. They're putting it together, and Amy Adams is the star of it. And it follows the story of reporter Camille Preaker, who's Amy Adams, who returns to her small hometown to cover the murders of 2 preteen girls. So that's probably why everybody's sad.
That'll help.
Yeah, and they're trying to put together a psychological puzzle from her past, and then she finds herself identifying with the victims, and who knows.
And her mom is not a nice lady.
Her mom seems to not be a very nice lady. And it looks a little bit True Detective-y. You know?
It's definitely got that color scheme, the cinematography for sure.
And sad.
Yeah.
It looks sad.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is going to be premiering Sunday.
I know. I would love to see Amy Adams in a movie where she could smile again. Just, she's been in some dark stuff lately. She's such a great actress.
Smile, Amy.
But she hasn't done anything light for a while. So
yeah.
At least not that I've seen. I probably missed something. But,
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I think this looks good. It's cool when people who are big stars take time to do a season of something interesting. So
yeah, so it should be pretty interesting. That's Sharp Objects. That's going to be out this Sunday on HBO. That you can check that out. Moving on to some other things you can watch on Netflix. And honestly, Netflix comes out with so much content.
Dude, locking down comedians with cars. I don't know if you remember this, but I nearly died this year from flu.
That's right.
I was like really. I mean, I don't want to over dramatize it, but there was parts where I was like, maybe I won't make it.
Like this,
like I don't think I was quite that close, but it was pretty bad. And comedians in cars was one of the few things that got me through. I mean, you can just power watch it, and it's funny.
Well, no reason we're bringing that up is because the 10th season premieres today.
Absolutely.
So it's out right now on Netflix, the 10th season of...
And since I've watched all of them, this is important to me.
Yeah. Well, they took Dave Chappelle, Zach Galifianakis, Hassan Minaj, Kate McKinnon, John Mulaney, and Ellen DeGeneres.
Killer cast.
Among others.
It's going to be great.
That will be on there. So that is out right now that you can watch on Netflix. A couple other things. Well, another one that's out also right now, and this is a whole movie starring one of the biggest stars of this year, Josh Brolin, that is out on Netflix.
Yep.
And wasn't even aware that it was being filmed. So starring Josh Brolin and Danny McBride, it's called The Legacy of a White-Tailed Deer Hunter. And I watched the trailer. It is interesting. So Josh Brolin plays a guy named Buck Ferguson. And Buck Ferguson is famous for hunting white-tailed deer and has a hunting television show.
Okay.
And it's him and Danny McBride, I believe, is his producer.
Right.
And they take his estranged son out hunting. And his estranged son is not into hunting, apparently, at all. Not into the outdoors, not into any of it. And so hilarity ensues.
It looks like, one of those intimate films that's going to show a lot of these guys' acting skills. So, yeah, it should be cool.
Yeah. I'll watch it. I mean, anything with Josh Brolin and Danny McBride. Like, yeah, you got me.
It's kind of got a vibe of Hunt for the Wilder People, which is the Taika Waititi movie that he did right before Thor. So
I could see a little bit
of that.
Should
be interesting, yeah.
Some other things, we did get a date for Ozark, which if you haven't watched Ozark, I really enjoy Ozark.
I'm still needing to get into that. It keeps popping up, and I know I should have seen it. It's silly that I haven't, but I'm excited to get into it.
You got about a month and a half to catch up because season 2, we got a date for that. August 31st is when
that went
bring
quick.
Back the whole cast. Yeah, it
Didn't
really
it?
did.
Like,
yeah.
I feel like they were just promoting the first season.
Yeah. It just kind of happened, and it was a flash, and it's a really good series. I really enjoyed it. So Ozark, that is August 31st.
Yeah, Jason Bateman is all Netflix all the time.
Yeah.
Among almost everyone else these days.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. We all work for Netflix at some point.
No kidding, right?
So Netflix or Amazon. So a couple other things that we found out that Netflix is bringing to their content is Ultraman. Ultraman is getting a series starting in 2019. Now, you may be asking, what is Ultraman? So Ultraman is actually an old Japanese manga and television show. I mean, there's been multiple versions as a television show, but this is going to be a live action one.
And for anybody who read...
Or no, excuse me. This one's not live action. This one's going to be produced in 3D CGI.
Oh, okay.
3D CGI for this one.
Interesting.
For Ultraman.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, anybody who's read Ready Player One knows Ultraman. If that's your only connection, that's a kind of an easy way to get into it. But
that's how I knew.
It's Japanese manga, and it's supposed to be like pretty awesome.
Yeah, so we'll see what that's like. That will be coming out next year. They've also optioned, it looks like there's going to be a Gundam movie. And Gundam is another one I didn't know what that was. It's
kind of Voltron-y.
Yeah, kind of Voltron-y anime, and essentially it takes place in the future where humankind has colonized different planets, and then now all those planets are revolting against Earth, but everybody fights in these big giant Voltron-y robot things.
I mean, if I have to have an apocalypse, I wouldn't mind it being the big giant fight robot thingies. That would be awesome.
It's being noted Ultraman was not in the Ready Player One movie.
No, it wasn't in the movie. Okay. It was in the book.
It was in the book, yeah. I haven't watched the movie yet.
The movie is very, very different than the book.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
It's completely, okay.
They just kind of pick and choose which properties make it through. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Ultraman is a very big
part
of
the things that they didn't do in the movie, and not to spoil too much, is that in the book, everyone gets their own robot fighter, and they didn't do that in the movie. And I was bummed about that. I actually enjoyed the movie for the most part, but they didn't do that.
Huh. All right. Well, a little bit different there. Moving on for some other new things to talk about. We do have this trailer that we want to play. It's for a movie called The House with a Clock in Its Walls. And the synopsis, I think the description's actually pretty perfect that they have on YouTube for this one. It just says, a young orphan named Louis Barnevelt aids his magical uncle in locating a clock with the power to bring about the end of the world. So it's starring Jack Black as the magical uncle and Cate Blanchett as, I believe, the neighbor. And it looks very Harry Potter-esque.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really missing the Harry Potter vibe in between Fantastic Beasts, as we said in our trailer post, this is probably what for you.
Right. Yeah.
It definitely looks like that. The kid learns how to become a warlock.
Right.
Not a magician, a warlock.
A warlock.
And I was just trying to remember exactly.
You're right. Yeah, that's what they say in the trailer.
He calls him a warlock. And it looks fun. I mean, Jack Black looks very. Sometimes it's hard for me to not see the Jack Black in the character.
Yeah, he is one of those ones that it's hard to take
He's
him out
always
of it.
kind of Jack Black, but I love.
Well, it's
Jack
like Danny
Black
McBride's always kind of Danny McBride.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle MacLachlan is also in it as well. So
yeah, he's the former owner of the house, I believe, that they're trying to solve the mystery of.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'll watch that. That looks like it'll be pretty entertaining. A movie I'm probably not going to watch, but it is coming out anyway, and we have to make you aware of it.
We do, by law.
By law, by Between the Streams law, we are required to inform you. Sonic the Hedgehog is getting a movie.
Yes.
Sonic the Hedgehog, not just a cartoon, a live-action animated crossover thing.
Is it live action?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jim Carrey,
which makes it even worse. It makes it even worse that it's going to be that.
Jim Carrey may be in it as well.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. That's the newest part of it. Is Jim Carrey may play the villain for Sonic the Hedgehog. If you don't know what Sonic the Hedgehog is, you may be too young to know. It was a big time Sega game. Sega Genesis.
It's just running really fast and hoping not to hit spikes. So I don't really know how you create a story out of that, but they've done more with less. So we'll see what they come up with.
Yeah. So Sonic the Hedgehog, it looks like 2019 is when that's going to be coming out.
I mean, they made a movie about emojis, so anything is possible.
Yeah. Yeah. So there we go. All right. We do have some more casting news, like we said at the top. Like we said at the top of the show, the Star Wars news that we had was Keri Russell being cast in Star Wars Episode 9. So that is the big news from Star Wars, and we'll see where that goes. The other casting news for some, but it's still big.
Yeah.
Top Gun, which we know Top Gun 2 is going to be coming out next year, and we knew that Goose obviously is not going to be in it.
Nope.
Spoilers: Goose didn't make it through the first one.
He did not.
And they have to have some kind of connection there. So they're going to have Goose's son.
Yep.
Son of Goose.
And didn't I call this? I thought I called this one.
I think you did.
Yeah.
You might have called this one.
Right.
In that the person cast for this, it's been decided, will be Miles Teller.
Yes.
Miles Teller is going to be Goose's son. What do you think his nickname is going to be?
His call sign?
Yeah, his call
sign.
sign.
Well, is he going to be a pilot? Like, we don't know. Maybe he won't have a call sign.
He's got to have a call sign of some kind.
Will it be
Quail?
Swan?
Swan. Oh, God, you're right. Oh, it's going to be Swan.
Yeah, because he's smooth. He's smooth in the
terrible. I would bet money on your.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Anyway, Miles Teller is going to be playing.
But maybe
Goose's
he
son.
only flies drones. Remember, we had the whole story. He only flies drones, and then Maverick gets in trouble, and he's got to get up in the air.
But he's studied all the old pilot videos.
And he has the sim. He's been through simulation, but he's never really been in flight.
He's too scared because his dad died.
He has to steal Iron Eagle style. He has to steal a jet. And go after Maverick.
Yeah. What are you doing, Swan?
That's right.
Yeah. Get back here.
That's the plot.
All right. There we go. So.
I mean, that's our plot.
Yep. So
we'll see if that
comes. Top Gun 2. Please send us our checks.
Yes.
All right.
See what that comes about.
Another casting for a spinoff that we have, and then we'll just kind of go back and talk about Star Wars really quick before we wrap up the show for today. But Fast and the Furious is getting a spinoff for Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
I have never seen a Fast and Furious movie.
That's a really dumb name, by the way. I know it's the names of the characters, but God.
Yep. I will admit this. I have never seen a Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
I understand they're quite popular. Really?
Me neither. Yeah.
Neither of us have?
No.
Oh, this is just
I've been told I should watch 5, 6, and 7. But
you know what? I take that back. No, I have watched one. I saw Tokyo Drift.
I saw. Oh, that's like kind of the one that doesn't really fit with the other one.
It was really bad.
Also, yeah, I saw 10 minutes of 2. And I can't get those 10 minutes back. That's the problem with that situation.
Maybe we're not the target audience.
However, I heard it gets a lot better with, The Rock shows up and it gets better.
Well, there's been, let's see, 8 of them so far.
Yeah.
So
and 2 more planned.
Yeah, the 9th and 10th are coming out in 2020 and 2021. And
so
this is the first spin-off. So Hobbs and Shaw, and we did get the villain casting, which is going to be Idris Elba.
Right.
Everybody likes Idris Elba.
Yeah, I can't tell if I like Idris Elba better as a bad guy or the good guy. He's so good at both. He's like one of the few people that can do both equally well.
Yeah. So this is a complete spinoff of Hobbs and Shaw. Somebody's asking when Fast and Furious 9 comes out. It is 2020 is when that's one's scheduled, and then the next one's 2021. So you got a couple of years for the big ones, but sounds like you'll get Hobbs and Shaw before that.
It's like Star Wars now.
It really is.
They're standalone.
They're going to get their own streaming service just for Fast and Furious.
Huge. It makes so much money. It's amazing.
I know. It really is.
As Rick Marshall, our reviewer, calls it, it's superheroes with cars. It's, car superheroes.
Maybe I should finally watch it.
I'm sure it's, the bigger ones are I'm sure totally entertaining.
I'll tell you what, Tokyo Drift did not sell me on it.
That was not the one for you.
Did not sell me on it. All right, we do have one more giveaway. Like I said, we're doing giveaways every day leading up to Prime Day, and this one is for something called the Furbo, which I kid you not, I was actually talking to a friend like 2 nights ago, and they were talking about this Furbo thing. Oh, my buddy got this Furbo, and I had no idea what they were talking about.
Is that the animal that's a robot animal that you can
That's a Furby.
Be nice or
That's
mean
a Furby.
Oh,
not a Furby.
I blew it.
A Furbo.
Okay.
And it is a
Seems
dog
derivative.
treat tossing camera. So what it is, you set this up at your house, and it's got a camera on it so you can watch your dog. and the camera go, and there's a speaker to go back and forth, so you can talk to your dog. You know, if you can bust your dog if your dog's chewing up your slippers or whatever. And then, so it's all via an app. You can just.
Does the robot move around?
No, it's in one spot.
Okay.
From what I can tell, at least as far as right now for the Furbo.
All right.
But it is pretty funny. There's videos of people busting their dogs doing stuff like, "Hey," and then the dog freaking out, wondering where it's from. But on top of that, you've got this little app where it'll shoot treats at the dog.
So I need one of those for my cat that'll spout water. So when she's screwing with the furniture, I can just shoot water at her. That's what I need.
That's the adaptation that you need.
And then you're just on your phone all day. God damn it. What are you doing? Damn cat.
No, Fluffy. So what we're doing, we're giving away 3 of these, and it's the final time to enter it is like right now. So you need to go to digitaltrends.com/giveaways and enter right now. 3 of these will be given away. They're $250 a piece. So it's a pretty good deal. And it's pretty cool. So that's the Furbo for our giveaways. All right, back to our top story of the day, just to kind of recap for Star Wars Episode 9, the casting of Keri Russell. And we don't know what character she's going to be.
Is that the name of the movie? Star Wars Episode 9, the casting of Keri Russell.
It is. They're going a very different direction.
It's very meta.
Very different direction for this. So Keri Russell joining the cast. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you guys
it's
want,
not one of those things where I'm like, I don't know what she's going to do yet.
And, if you guys want, you can send me, your questions for Keanu Reeves. We're buddies now.
Oh, yeah. So on top of that,
we'll probably go riding this weekend.
Didn't know. Ryan and Keanu, best pals forever.
Best buds for life.
Yeah, best buds for life. So, no, that is really cool, though. So the interview, we played part of that interview earlier today.
Yeah, and we'll have the whole interview on Digital Trends next week.
Very cool. All right, so we'll find out all about that, whatever Ryan talked to Keanu about.
So many weird things.
What's up, KB?
Almost none of them are about movies. That's the crazy part.
What kind of tacos do you like?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
It's all fun facts.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Again, this is Between the Streams. If you're watching live, thanks for going with us through some tech issues that we had today, but we do appreciate everybody who joined us by Periscope and Twitch and YouTube. And, of course, subscribe to the podcast. So that's one of the best things that you can do. Wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's iTunes or Stitcher or, whatever you're all using for your podcast now. Hit the subscribe button to Between the Streams. That's the most important thing.
You're going to like it.
You're going to like it. I guarantee. No, we're not going to do that part.
I'll guarantee it.
Okay. All right. There it is. Ryan will guarantee it.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Send us an email, podcast@digitaltrends.com. Go to digitaltrends.com/giveaways for all the giveaways. And we will be back next week with another episode.